Good morning, students. Previously, or last time, we have studied mutable and immutable types in Python. I hope you understand those topics. Today, we start our new topic, which is list. It is also a type in Python. So let us see what is list. These are the containers that are used to store a list of value of any type. It means list contains those items or elements which are of any type. Any type means they may be integer, they may be floating point number, or they may be a string. Okay, as we have seen that Python's lists are mutable. In last lecture we have studied that the list of Python are mutable. It means the elements of the list we are able to make them change. List is type of sequence. Sequence means string, list and tuple are the type of the uh, data types which are called sequence. So that's why it is called a sequence. Sequence means they contains elements in the form of sequence, like string and tuples. String is also a sequence, whereas tuple is also a sequence, but it differ from them. But list have some difference from string and tuples. So that's why list is mutable, but string and tuples are immutables. In the way that lists are mutable but string and tuples are immutable. That's what I say. So list, basically list is called a sequence. It contains all types of elements. It may be integer, it may be a string, or it may be a floating point number, or it may be a list into the list. Let us see how to create a list. uh, Whenever I declare a variable L and square bracket open and square bracket close, whenever I write this statement, so by writing this statement we create an empty list. Okay, so this is an empty list. It means it does not contain any item, it is empty. Another way of declaring a list is L equals to 1 comma 2 comma 3, and these square brackets are the symbol or the container which contains the element of the list. So this list, these items are integers, so here we say this is a list of integers. Another type, list equals to character A, character B, character C. So these are all different types of elements of list. It is of type character, so this list is of characters. Let us look at another example. L equals to 1 comma 2, and this third, at the third position there are 3 comma 4, which is again a type of list. So in this type of list there are integer as well as list also. This is a sublist, this is called a sublist, and last element is 5, which is also an integer. So a list contain another list within it. Okay, this is called nesting of list. Another way of creating a empty list is using list method. You can directly use list method to create empty list. It is important that the list method works only in script mode, not in the interactive mode. So be careful while writing this list method. This list method works in the script mode, not in the interactive mode. So whenever you are going to write any kind of list by using this list method, you have to write the program in the script mode, not in the interactive mode. So these are the various options by through which you are able to create a list. Let's go through with some examples. Another, creating a list from sequence. How to create a list from sequence? Sequence means it may be a string or it may be a tuple. Okay, so here is a note. make this in script mode. So we have to make the program, this program, in script mode, not in interactive mode. So our first example, here we are going to make a list with the help of string. This is a string. So a string is called a sequence. So we are going to make list with the help of sequence, which is a string. And we are also using a list method over here. So L is our list variable, L equals to list, and a sequence is given to the method. So this list method will convert this sequence into a list. Now when I write this statement, I have to print the L. This list method will convert the elements of the string into list. Then I print this variable L. If you write these two lines of code in script mode and you save it, when you run it, the output will be like this. Single elements of the string, single character of the string are individual elements of the list. H single character, E single character, comma L, O. So when you give sequence to the list method, it convert all the characters of the string into individual items of the list. So this is the main function of the list method. By list method you can make any list with the help of sequence. Okay. This is the first way of creating a list with the help of sequence. Now second method is creating a list from input method. I think all of you are aware of input method. Input method generally gives, it also gives string. Okay, input method also gives strings. So whenever you use input method, it also gives a string, which is also a sequence. So indirectly it is also giving you a string. Let us look at here another example. This is different program from first one. So you can also write this in different script mode. L equals to, again, list method. L is our list variable. You can use any variable, L, X, Y, Z, okay, any variables. L equals to list, and in the list I am using input method. This input method give user the condition to give his choice at runtime. So here I am also giving message to the user, enter list element. So when you run this program, enter list element, then print the value L. So whatever you have given, whether numeric value, whether string values, it will be converted into list with the help of this list method. Suppose I have given some numeric values. Let us look at here. Output of the program here. Enter list element. This is the message in the input method which is given by the program. So I have entered 1 without any comma or space, 1 2 3 4 5. You can write this numeric value without using any space. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5. So the input method will take these value as a string. So this is a string, and whenever string is passed to the list method, it will convert each character of the string into individual characters like this. 1, this is not numeric 1, this is character 1. Okay, its value is different. Character 2, character 3, character 4, character 5. So by using input method, you are creating a list, okay, of string. But here there is a problem. So because all these elements are characters, they are not numeric constants. So to prepare a list by using numeric constant, we can use eval method. Let's look at here. Creating list by using eval method. EVAL, eval method. There is another example. Now here I am not using list method. I am using eval method. Eval method, whatever you give as input in the form, either in the form of list or tuple, it will be converted. Okay, so L equals to eval input enter list to be added. Okay, and then again print the variable. So look at here carefully. This message is to be printed, displayed, whatever I given in the input method. This is the output, and here I have to give the square bracket in the output. This part is to be typed by us. Okay, this is the output we are given. We have to give square bracket 67, whatever the value you want as the first, comma, second item, comma, third item, comma, fourth item, then bracket close. So this input is given by us in the form of list. It will be as it is converted into the list, and whenever I am printing variable L, it will give the list elements. So eval method is much better than these two methods, but eval method is not so much used in Python, but you can use it whenever you need it. Okay, so this is another way to create a list. Now after creating the list by using different techniques, if you want to access the individual elements, how will you access the individual elements? Because these are the individual elements: 67 first element, 78 second element, 46 third element, 28 fourth element. So if you want to access these elements, so what is the way? Look at here. The individual elements of a list are accessed through their indexes. Basically the list is stored in a memory. Okay, look at here. If these are the values of the list: first value, second value, third value, fourth value, fifth value. The first value has 0 index, the second value has 1 index, third value has 2 index, fourth value has 3, and fifth value has 4 index. By default the index of the first value is 0. Each and every time if you want to access the first item or the first value of the list, the index of the value is 0. If you want to access the second item, the index of that particular value is 1. So this is the way. With the help of this index you can access that number of element, that position of the element. Look at here. Suppose I have this is an example. Suppose list1 is our variable and I am declaring a list, a numeric list in which the elements are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as it is. These are the list elements. And suppose I type list1 and in square bracket, this is square bracket open, this is square bracket close, I write 3. So this 3 is called the index. So the position at 3, it is 3. This is the index and the value is 4. So this list1 3 will print the value at that index. The 3 the index, at index 3 the value is 4, so it will print 4. You can write these two lines in interactive mode also. Okay, line by line, first line, second line, then after this typing this, when you press enter, output will be given. Whenever you want to print the third element, so variable and index, the third element's index is 2, so 3 is printed. Whenever you want to print fifth means sixth element, so here sixth element is not here. Look at here, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth element is not here. The sixth element have index 5, so it will give an error, list index out of range. It means the index what you want to give does not contains any value, so it will give an error message, list index out of range. You can also run this program, run this code also, and check whether this error is given or not. So this is the way, by giving index you can access individual elements, single elements of the list. So this is the way to access the elements of the list. You can run this code and understand it, because at first attempt it is not easy for you to understand. So practice it. You need practice. Okay, without practice you are not able to do it. Okay, at single hand, at one time, single time. So without practice it is not possible for you to understand it. So it is better to understand, practice it, and check it yourself. All your doubts will be cleared when you practice it. Now our next topic is traversing a list. Traversing means from start position to the end position we have to look all the elements of the list. So this is called traversing. Traversing means to move from the first item to the last item, and each and every individual item you are traversing, you are looking at there, or if you want to print it you can print it. So this is called traversing. It means accessing and processing each element of the list. It is done with the help of for loop. So traversing a list is done with the help of for loop, and for loop we have already studied, okay, in our last chapter. So this for loop, look at here how we can do this with the help of for loop. Uh, this code you will have to write in script mode. These three lines 1, 2 and 3. Here I am declaring a list which contain 4 items 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I am using for loop. For I is our index variable, okay, or I we can simply call a variable for I in our list 1. So here in place of using a range method, I am placing list here. Range also contains list, but I placed list over here. So this I will first take value whenever you are going to run this for loop. So this I will run 1, 2, 3, 4 times. This loop will run 4 times because our list contain 4 items. So this will loop run for the 4 times. It will depend on the length of the list, and the length of the list is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 because it contains 4 items. So this loop will run 4 times. Each and every for first time this I will assign the first variable. So I contain 1. Whenever the loop run for the first time it will contain 1. So print I means 1, so it will print 1. Now this print method has by default \n. It means whenever the next time print method encounter, the new item will be printed from the new line. So now again I, for the second iteration I equals to 2. So print I, so then 2 is printed. For the third iteration I equals to 3, print I, so I equals to 3. And for the fourth iteration I equals to 4, print I, 4. So this print will print each and every item of the list from the new line. So this is the logic of using for loop and traversing all the items. We have seen all the items. We have printed all the items with the help of print method, and how this I, our variable, will assign the item one by one. First iteration first element, second iteration second, third iteration third element, fourth iteration fourth, and you can use this variable in your expression. I am printing, you can use this also in calculation, okay, for addition, for subtraction, because I contains the value. Now there is another example. Here our list contains characters, set of characters P, Y, T, H, O, N. Now again I am using for loop for I in list 1. This list 1 contains these elements. So for the first iteration I will contain P, print I, print P. Then after it I will contain second element Y, print I, then print Y. So each and every time new element will be printed from the new line, and the whole list will be printed like this, one below another. So this is the method for traversing a list. Practice all these programs, okay. If you don't practice it, you will not able to understand the next classes of the list, because this list is common for both CS, computer science, as well as for informatics practices, okay. So this is the basics for programming, okay. You will also use this in 12th class also, so practice it. It is better for you to practice it. I am sending also the screenshot of the pages, okay. You will check, you will write it down and make notes of it, okay. That's all for today. Goodbye.